And welcome to another edition of Illinois Innovators. I'm Mike Kuhn. Joining us now, CEO of Personify, Sanjay Patel. Just welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Well, obviously, Personify, your company, heavily in virtual reality. So let's kind of go back, a decade or so. How did we get to this point in virtual reality? And give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, definitely. My background is I'm a member of the faculty here. I'm in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering here at the University of Illinois. I've been on the faculty since 1999. I've been working on a lot of different aspects of computing, from digital circuits, computer architecture, computer design, special purpose chip design. And in 2009, I started this company with a couple of other faculty members and some students.
So I know your bio says that if you weren't doing this, you'd be running a ramen noodle food truck.
Yeah.
So given the two, what was the genesis of the start of your career to the time that you started Personify?
You mean, why didn't I choose to go and start a ramen noodle truck? I think that's still some ways off in the future. I kind of have to work my way up to it. But I've always had entrepreneurial background or leanings. I come from a very entrepreneurial family. My cousins, my relatives have started companies themselves. So when I came to the University of Illinois in 1999, I've always been dabbling in the startup world. I worked as a consultant for a startup company as part of the initial tech bubble. I was the CTO of another startup company in the latter half of the 2004, 2008 timeframe. And then after that, started Personify. So it's always been a dream to take a company out of the university, out of research, and do something important with it.
The University of Illinois provided you a team. So what are some of the technologies and the things that were necessary to bring this team together?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think a lot of it is just serendipity. You happen to be working on a project, you kind of shape it into a form that's interesting to you. You pull a bunch of people together that complement you. For example, I had very little background in computer vision before I started Personify. I started working with Min Do and Tom Wong, other faculty here in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, who have a far stronger background in computer vision. But that complementary skill set, along with their students, kind of was the serendipity around the start of Personify.
Well, we've kind of danced around Personify in terms of what it is. Just talk a little bit about what the technology is, and then obviously, if you're going to start a company, you have to see a market out there that you can fill. And so, as you were looking, what was the market you were trying to fill, and still are trying to fill it with Personify? And talk a little bit about your technology.
Yeah, one of my passions has always been using technology to help people feel more connected, specifically around video. Things like video chat, teleconferencing or video conferencing are things that are very, very pervasive now. They're everywhere. Every device you can do a video call or a video chat. When we started the company, these were still things that were to come. They weren't as pervasive as they are now. We always viewed Personify as a technology company that was enhancing those capabilities to make video chat better, more lifelike, more realistic. And I'm happy to say that what we've done is take technology that was deep technology, hard technology, involving computer vision and high-speed computing, and enable people to do things with video communication that they couldn't do before.
Such as?
One of our most pervasive technologies is a virtual green screen. It's embedded in a number of products today that we develop. It's embedded in a number of products and technologies that other companies bring to the market. And basically what it does is a computer vision and deep learning-based technology that identifies the user in front of the webcam or smartphone camera and removes everything else but the user. So it's like as if you were standing in front of a green screen where you can sort of instantly remove anything that's not you. Today, in order to do that, you basically have to have a green screen or a wall that's a green wall.
Go to a TV studio, for instance.
Or be at a TV studio, for instance. Now you can do that directly from your laptop and soon from your smartphone. And it's a technology that's really exciting because as things like live streaming become really commonplace, it's a core technology that will be built into things like YouTube streaming or Facebook Live or a number of other services that the world is using in droves today.
So when you talk about virtual reality and augmented reality, I think a lot of people think gaming because that's where we see it first or have seen it first, or things like the Oculus Rift, for instance. So, but I think in a broader sense, this is a technology that's being used in businesses, in learning, and that sort of thing. And obviously, this was a vision that you saw, a decade ago.
Yeah, I think it was. It's become clearer and clearer as we've gone along. But specifically, our technology today, with the virtual green screen, it's being commercially deployed to tens of thousands of users, and we see it growing quickly over the next few years. I deeply believe that the thing we're developing today, that Personify has such a clear lead on, will be part of every single device with a webcam or a user-facing camera. So that's every PC, every laptop, every tablet, every smartphone will ultimately have this capability because it's that pervasive.
Right.
But let's talk about the future, virtual reality and augmented reality, because that's what's really exciting for Personify. That's where we're doing a lot of our R&D today. And at the Consumer Electronics Show, we revealed something that ultimately points to the future of Personify in virtual reality and augmented reality.
Well, talk a little bit about that. I know you're excited about that, the hologram capability, and so I'll let you tell the folks about that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a step back first. Virtual reality and augmented reality, why people find them really exciting is, one, the idea of putting digital content right in front of your eyes enables that content to be very, very immersive. Head-mounted displays enable virtual content to be all around you. And in that setting, Personify is able to teleport people from their physical setting into a virtual setting. So we can actually, with our hologram technology, our teleporter technology, capture somebody in full 3D and then teleport that person into your view space, whether you're using a virtual reality headset or augmented reality glasses. And we think this is a capability that very, very few companies or groups could bring to market. And we're really excited about being that company.
So it will be as if somebody you're talking to is it'll seem like they're right in the same room as you.
Yeah, it will be, they'll be in the same room as you. Full body capture, head to toe. They can be seated in front of a table, but we place that person as a full 3D object in your view space.
Wow.
So you have this really kind of a limbic response to them, like they're in your room. It's not that they're on your computer screen. which is what we're accustomed to as far as video chat goes. This is something entirely different. They're in your space. And we really believe that this is what we've been trying to do, what technology companies have been trying to do all along as far as video presence goes. And with head-mounted displays, be they virtual reality headsets like the Oculus or the HTC Vive, or augmented reality glasses like we're going to see from Google and Apple and Microsoft.
Well, let's talk about the technology that you have in the books right now, maybe one by one. Tell us about the ChromaCam.
ChromaCam is our latest product that's fully featured product that people can use today. And it's a virtual camera driver that essentially takes our virtual green screen technology and makes it accessible to anybody with a Windows PC and soon with a Mac. And so with your favorite video software, be it Skype or Google Hangouts, or if you're a streamer, Twitch streamer, OBS, or XSplit, you can instantly remove your background and put a virtual background. A lot of game streamers use a ChromaCam to do their game streams because they like to put their face on their gameplay to kind of better engage with their community. So that's extremely popular amongst gamers. We see that ChromaCam has a lot of potential amongst people who are professionals who do a lot of video conferencing as part of their work. So maybe you're working from home and you engage with your coworkers or your clients through Skype for business meetings or Google Hangouts, and you really don't want your personal life to kind of be thrown into your professional life. So ChromaCam is a perfect product because it lets you just blank everything out or blur everything out, which is a common feature that people are using today.
So in other words, you could be in a hotel room, you could be in your bathrobe, for instance, or whatever. Nobody sees the background. They just see you on the screen with whatever background that you want there.
Exactly. And it's really super easy to use. It works with anything that uses your webcam. And we're just a virtual camera layer that fits right on top there. And we are seeing users across the board. Gamers, consumers, consultants, people who work from home, all the way to people in the enterprise. In fact, one of the use cases that's really kind of caught me by surprise is companies, even at places of work, let's say financial institutions, have corporate policies where they don't want their employees to use webcams because there could be something on the whiteboard behind you that pertains to an employee or a particular client that they don't want revealed either internally or externally. So there are corporate policies where, no, you cannot use the webcam. That becomes entirely different with a product like ChromaCam because we're able to very securely blank out the background, either through blur or entire replacement. So now what we're finding is companies in the financial services industry are coming to us very excited about ChromaCam because without any change of equipment, their employees can now partake in video conferencing. So it's exciting for us.
It is exciting. And the other two, Presenter and Fusion, I'll let you talk about what those entail.
Absolutely. So again, we took our virtual green screen technology and thought hard about, where can it be transformative? Early on, we introduced the Presenter product. It was really our first commercial offering. And it's a really simple product, and essentially what it lets you do is it lets you put your video persona, that is you, without your background, directly on top of your content. Your content might be a PowerPoint presentation. So you become a visual entity that's talking through your PowerPoint. And with that, you can deliver it over, say, WebEx or Skype for meetings or Skype for business or GoToMeeting, and deliver something that's more compelling than just voice over your PowerPoint.
Okay.
That product, it's something that we see continued engagement with the market. We have multiple large corporate clients in the Fortune 500 that are using Presenter on a daily basis.
So, and then talk a little bit about Fusion.
Fusion is one of my pet. It's one of my pet projects. It's sort of rethinking video chat, knowing that you can do virtual green screen right out of the box. What it is you can think about it as windowless video chat, where everybody you're talking to is just sort of a floating entity on top of the content that you happen to be sharing as part of the video chat. It's a product that it's out there. We have users that are using it probably on a daily basis, but it's a product that we haven't really kind of kicked our promotion into high gear. We're still kind of cultivating the right entry point into the market. Sort of growing it organically, finding users that really love it, engaging with those users, and still kind of waiting for the real push into the market.
And broadly, in terms of being an entrepreneur and an innovator, you're here at the University of Illinois. What were some of the things that helped you get started? And obviously, you've grown the company from 5 to 30, and you've got a presence in Vietnam and in the Valley. But you're still here, and you've got a core of your team and your researchers that are here.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to keep my ties to the university. Even taking a leadership role at the company. It's something that's been a really hard balance, but it's been something that I've been very committed to. So I teach, I maintain regular visibility on campus, and in order to do that, I really need to be here. I live in Urbana, my kids go to school in the community. I'm an active member of sort of the tech scene in Champaign-Urbana. It's been really important to me. Challenging, but we've made it work. And one of the ways we've made it work is to really take the notion that the company will be distributed from day one. We started here taking advantage of the infrastructure that the university has for creating tech startup companies. Things like the Research Park and Enterprise Works, Illinois Ventures, which is a kind of a funding entity that springs and funds startups that come out of the university that commercialize university technologies. So we've taken advantage of all that, but all the while keeping the notion that the company needs to spill out into the broader world, into Silicon Valley, into areas that are emerging and exciting, like Vietnam, where there is lots of highly energetic and young tech talent that wants to engage with companies that are bringing new capabilities to market.
I mean, I think people might find that surprising that Vietnam is an emerging place for that technology, and people are hungry to create a space there.
Absolutely. The university has had a relationship with technology universities in Vietnam. In fact, two of the co-founders of Personify, Minh Do, who's on the faculty, and one of our joint students, Quang Nguyen, kind of were the impetus in us opening a site in Vietnam. And once we opened it, it's been strongly positive. We have 15 people there now that are contributing on a daily basis to the core mission of the company. And I couldn't imagine Personify being where it is without that vibrant connection to the Vietnam office.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you feel like you're ahead of the curve when it comes to that. Just give us an idea of where you stand in the market, who are potential competitors, and how you manage to stay ahead of the technology, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, I think really it's about being extremely cost efficient. We haven't raised a lot of money. We've been now going for 6+ years. Not a lot of money for 6+ years means that you're just, trying to keep costs extremely low without prematurely scaling into the market, only to discover there's no market, which is what a lot of happens to a lot of startups. I've always sort of had the notion that we're early, from the very beginning, that we're developing something that the market may not be ready for. Even though we deeply believe that it's something that's important, these things always take time. So, and we probably still are early, but the signals are strong that we're onto something that will be, as I said, part of every single computing device in a matter of years. So the team in Vietnam, was really part of that mission to keep costs extremely low and still have a strong R&D component that's inventing and developing. So our lead today is really it grows out of that we have developed a technology that I think is really hard for people to replicate. It doesn't take, it can't be done with a couple of people working straight out of school. It's something that's really born out of research that's cultivated over time and optimized. At this point, we've had millions of hours of usage in the field where our technology has been really proven. So it's that battle-testedness that kind of is our barrier to entry.
Well, you talk about your technology being in every computer or whatever, so obviously maybe you can't, what you can or cannot reveal, but do you give us an idea of who you're collaborating with? What are some of the businesses that are using your technology right now? And, where do you see that part of it going? Because obviously to be immersed in that type, you have to be communicating with some heavy hitters, I would think.
Yeah, our vision of getting it everywhere means that we're talking to all the constituents within that area, like all the PC manufacturers. We talk to all the semiconductor manufacturers because really they drive the innovation. We have, what I can talk about publicly is we've had a long-standing relationship with Intel. Our technology has been licensed by Intel. Intel Capital is one of the VCs that back Personify. We've also had a very strong relationship with AMD, and AMD Ventures also has invested in Personify. They see this as a core feature that drives ultimately demand for their products. So we see that as kind of a relationship that will take what we have and continue to propel it into the ecosystem. As far as our products, I can't talk specifically about where our products are used today. I will say that 3 of the 5 biggest software companies are end users of Presenter today. It's that important to them. They use it on a daily basis for their sales teams to engage with the market.
So in general, where do you see this going? Obviously you had the big announcement at the show in Las Vegas, but these things, it's changing not even year by year, every 3 to 6 months, which seems like there's something new. Where do you see this going? And obviously you have a market that you're targeting, but how are you working with other people that are hoping to use this technology for other uses? Yeah,
right now my focus is growing our presence in the virtual reality and augmented reality space. That is a that's going to bring about a monumental change. Many people talk about it as the next big platform. The last big platform was the smartphone, essentially, that brought the internet to everybody's pocket and everybody's palm. Right now you have the mobile internet essentially delivered to 5 billion people. Probably will be 7 billion people. Everybody will have access to the mobile internet soon. Smart glasses, augmented reality. A lot of people think that will be the next biggest platform. We want to be part of that, and we really see that space as being something that Personify specifically can bring a transformative use case. Again, holograms where you can talk to in real time to somebody that you really want to communicate with. That's where we're spending, our R&D efforts today. That's where we're going to grow the company.
If people out there, they want to find out about you and the technology, how do they do that?
Our website is something that's always a constant work in development. We've got a lot of information there about who we are, personify.com. Everybody's welcome to reach me by email at the university, and you can contact us at Personify generically at PR, public relations, PR@personify.com.
All right, it's been a pleasure learning about Personify. We're excited to see where this is going. We're really happy with where it is right now, and we're excited to follow the future of this technology and Personify in general. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Mike. It's been a pleasure talking to you about Personify.
That was Sanjay Patel, co-founder and CEO of Personify. This has been another edition of Illinois Innovators. I'm Mike Kuhn.